Welcome to Financial Freedom is Yours. I'm your host, Dr. Eric Lee Brown. Listen, we're going to be talking about today the sixth key to financial freedom, and I want to encourage you all to tune in, tell a friend to tell a friend, because today what we're going to be sharing is something that will really bless your life, something that will really bless your family. If you haven't went to Amazon yet and got my book, Planet on Purpose, in the Storm, listen, you want to go and make sure you get that from Amazon, and it will really bless your life. If you have ever been through a storm, if you have ever been through any situations that has caused you to deal with something that was really hard, this book will really bless you and let you know God's plan for each and every one of his children in the storm. And right now we're teaching out of the book, Unlock Your Money, 8 Keys to Financial Freedom. And we're on the sixth key in this 8 keys. And I'm super excited. If you want to check out the first 5 keys, make sure you go to our YouTube channel under Eric Lee Brown and make sure you subscribe so that you can never miss an episode from there. So let's dive in. We're talking about the sixth key today. And this sixth key, it was so powerful. I started to just play you guys the audio book. That's how powerful this sixth key is in financial freedom. But we're going to go over it today. And I'm going to read through some of the book and give some of you my understanding of what was written and how I see things today based on when I wrote the book. So look at this, the sixth key. I want you to take this down in your notes if you have it. Be deliberate, be intentional. So look, friend, today is a present. We need to know that every day we get up is a present. It is a gift. Unwrap it now. Don't take today for granted. It's all you have been given. Take advantage of every second you have. Someone breathed their last breath a second ago. You are still breathing. Behind every breath, you must be grateful and realize that it is another opportunity for you to go after your dreams and live in your purpose. Be deliberate. Act on your dreams today. Go after your desired financial end with a sense of urgency. So today we're talking about financial freedom, and be deliberate is all about you being living out your life with a sense of urgency. Now, one of the things that is so powerful today is that we're going to be talking about the quickest way to get to financial freedom. And then we're going to be talking about long-term investing. I know some of you are already investing in the stock market, might got your 401k, but I want to share with you one of the things that I learned in my 10-year pursuit of financial freedom that really blessed my life. So the first principle that I want to give you in this sixth key is take advantage of every second you have. Take advantage. Living today is a gift. To unwrap that gift every day by taking advantage. So we need to number days. So the moment you make the decision to number your days and stop putting things off until the future, you will see your dreams come to pass. Tomorrow is not promised, and yesterday is your past. From this day forward, act like it. Never put off until tomorrow what you can accomplish today. This alone will grant you more freedom than you have ever experienced. People become bound and lose hope because they refuse to discipline themselves enough to walk in their dreams. Now, one of the things about financial freedom we all need to really understand is that we're not going to be able to get there unless we're willing to do something today that we weren't willing to do yesterday. So we have to be willing to discipline ourselves. You don't see, the only millionaires that you see, that are throwing money around, that are buying out the bar, are individuals that are quote unquote rap stars, etc. These individuals, they do what they do just for their image. So their image is making the money. So they do those things. And some of them, they do it just to do it. And when they do it just to do it, they find themselves parting from their money sooner than later. So this first principle we need to know, take advantage of every second we have. Number 2, we need to know, number your days. We have to number our days. A guy by the name of Leo Buscaglia said, life lived for tomorrow will always be just a day away from being realized. Friend, make a decision to live today. Broke people, people that always, I'm broke, I don't have a habit of, look how they live their life. They live their life on autopilot. Individuals that are wealthy, how do they live their life? They live their life intentional. Every day they make the best of that day because they recognize that's all I have is that day. So they decide where they want to be, and daily, look at what they do. They do something to get there. Neither person is better than the other. Wealthy people are not better than people that are less fortunate or people that don't have. You know, some people could be wealthy. You could be working in the same company. One could be wealthy and one could be less fortunate because the one person decided to invest their money, to save their money, and the other person just decided to squander their living. So one is simply intentional about success, his success or her success, while the other simply guesses and hopes he obtains success. Which one are you? Be deliberate and become successful. So the third principle that I want to give you out of this sixth key, and we're going to get into the good stuff real quickly, so stick in there. The third key is do not live your life on autopilot, or the third principle, live intentionally. Every day you get up, you need to understand this is a gift from God, and I'm going to live intentionally. So one of my good friends once told me, ponder the path of your feet and let all your ways be established. He was telling me to contemplate, think over and over again on a regular basis the direction in which I planned on going. Today, I still go back and rethink my plans to make sure I am certain about where I am going. I make deliberate steps toward my goals. I am not hoping and wishing that my future would be bright. I am deliberately doing what I need to do in order to make sure my future is bright. So that's the difference. We cannot live out our life and act like things are just gonna happen. Well, I serve the Lord. It's just gonna happen, Dr. Bird. Oh, I love him, but it's just gonna happen, Minister Drown. The reality of it is we serve him, but we have to be deliberate. We have to take certain steps each and every day in order for us to get the results we're believing them for. The first step is praying about it, and then the second step is what? Faith without works is dead. So we have to put our works behind our faith if we really believe. A lot of people really don't believe that they can become financially free because they're too busy looking at what they have. They're too busy looking at their paycheck. They're too busy looking at their job. They're too busy looking at their income. You have to come and think outside of the box and start acting on what you're thinking about by God's grace in order to see what you are believing God for. That's the beauty of really serving the Lord, is that, you know, the just shall live by faith. We live beyond what we see. We don't, we don't get depressed because no man, a woman has approached us if we're single, because we're not living by what we see. We're living beyond what we see. And we know our time is right around the corner. Our day is right around the corner. So we just wait patiently, and in God's due season, we will have everything we put forth the effort to. So can I encourage my single women and my single brothers that as long as you're working on yourself, God is working things out to bring you the individual that he has for you. If you're not working on yourself, then don't worry about it, because it's not your time, it's not your season. But you find yourself working on yourself, know that God is working behind the scenes. That's the same thing with financial. If you find yourself being more and more of a good steward, come on, somebody, then God will bring more your way. If you're not a good steward over what you have, then how can you expect God to give you more? That's why Greater Works Ministry, we're having our financial meeting this Sunday, and I'm super excited because the people can see that we're taking steps to be the best stewards we can over what God has given us so that we can go to the next level. And I'm prophesying to you that you will go to the next level the moment you make up your mind in your heart to be a good steward over what you have. The Bible tells us this: be content with what you have. It doesn't say be content to stay where you are. It says be content with what you have. Be a good steward over what you have, and God will make ways for you to get more. So look at what I say in the book. I says, friend, if you desire to become debt free, you must believe you can and then take action. You must believe you can and then take action. In Dave Ramsey's book, The Total Money Makeover, he has a great strategy to get out of debt called the debt snowball. I want you guys to write this down. If you have never done this before, it will really bless your life. This principle of the debt snowball, it will really help you to walk in financial freedom quicker than any other system will. So it has helped thousands of people get out of debt. His simple principles work for most people who act now, keep their focus, and are determined. So I want to go over the 4 principles to use the debt snowball to become debt free. Now, the reason why the debt snowball has helped more people even become financial freedom and wealth, etc., because whenever you're paying off debt, you're lowering your expenses. And that's really the name of the game. The lower your expenses, the easier it is for you to walk in financial freedom. So let me just give you an example of that. If me and my wife, if our expenses are only $2,000 per month, and that's what we owe, that's what we're paying our phone bill, house note, whatever bills we have. So if our expenses are only $2,000, and let's just say I own property and my property brings in $4,000, and I have expenses in my property that I have to pay each month of 1,000. So that means I have 3,000, and my expenses are only 2,000. That means I have already walked in financial freedom. That easy. You know, a lot of people look at, oh, I want to be rich, etc. No, you want to come to a place where you walk in financial freedom, because a lot of people are rich, but they can't stop working a day because of the reality that their expenses are so high. They need to be rich. Are you understand what I'm saying? So if you lower your expenses, you will find yourself coming into a place being able to walk in financial freedom easier, and to be able to really do what's in your heart. A lot of people are stuck in positions and jobs they're doing because of their high living expense. It is okay to have a high living expense as long as you have a high cash flow. But the reality of it is, if you want to walk in financial freedom, the quickest way to get there is debt freedom. So let me share with you the 4 principles for the debt snowball. So the first principle, and of course I got business degrees, etc. So I want you to know that they teach this a little bit different. They teach that when you're paying off debt, look at your interest rate. But I found this momentum, these principles, to work far better. So number 1, the first principle, the 4 principles in the debt snowball effect. Number 1, list your debt from smallest to largest. This is how you actually do it. No matter the interest rate, forget the math for now. Write out everything you owe everyone. So you list your debt from smallest to largest. Number 2, start paying all your debt off in that order, from smallest to largest. The secret is to get quick wins to become motivated to obtain big wins. So, you know, with the rest of your debt, it's not saying that you don't pay on it, but you pay the minimum. And while you're paying the minimum on everything else, you double up or triple up on the lease so that you can pay it off quicker. Number 3, pay the minimum amount. As I mentioned before, you have to pay monthly on the rest of your debt. Number 4, use every dime you can find from your budget, overtime, bonuses to pay off your smallest debt first. Do what you have to do. Do what you have to do it. Pay it quickly off. Well, pay it quickly off, basically. Number 5, lastly, go after your desire to be debt free, like a lion chases his prey. Relentless, focus, and determined. You can do it. Be deliberate and act now. So right now, what I'm trying to share with you is that as you look at your debt, you have to understand that some of you might be weighed down. Oh my God, it's too much. But as you think outside of the box, you will come up with simple ideas and simple ways to be able to knock out different things. You'll find yourself, once you determine and focus, you'll find people just blessing you. And when they bless you, you already got goals, you already got things in mind, so you can tackle that debt. So in my 10-year search for financial freedom, I have found one of the best and quickest ways, as I mentioned before, to become financial free is by paying off all your debt first. Paying off all your debt lowers your expenses, which helps you obtain financial freedom quicker. So we talked about that. So one of the things that, as you know, that I encourage people to practice is the 70-30 rule. And that is, you want to get your expenses to a place where you're only paying or your expenses from 70%. And if it's more, that's even greater. 70% of your expenses are going towards bills and house notes and everything else. And then, you know, the 30% rule is we pay God first, we invest in the kingdom. The second thing, we pay ourselves, and then we pay our future. Now, using these principles, what will begin to happen when you focus on paying off your debt, you will start building up your resources to be able to, let's just say you got 6,000 or 12,000 saved, to be able, if anything happened on your job or whatever, we call that a safety net. So if you have your safety net, then you can start using your pay yourself 10% and pay your future. You can start downloading that on your debt in order to get into finance or to walk in financial freedom a lot quicker. So the 5th principle here I want you to understand is that plan your day, and your day will soon pay for your future. I'm going to say that again. Plan your day, and your day will soon pay for your future. W. Clement Stone's speech, he said something, and I'm telling y'all, write this down. It will really bless your life. He said something in this speech that really blessed hundreds of thousands of people. It was a do it now speech. And this is what he told the audience. He said, before you go to sleep at night, say, do it now 50 times. When you wake up in the morning, say, do it now 50 more times. This simple technique will create the sense of urgency you need to grab a hold of your dreams to go ahead and thrive. Do it now. So one of the things that his speech did for a lot of people is that it put them in a position to actually have a sense of urgency. You know how we put stuff off, say, I'll do that tomorrow, or I'll do that the next day, or I'll do that Saturday, or whatever the case may be. The reality of it is, it will help you. I started doing it and I was like, wow, it will really help you to really start tackling your goals, really going after your dreams, really going after what you believe God has put in your heart when you confess these things. So friend, you need to understand that the world is full of people that are going to do something big, but few people are willing to spend their day deliberately focusing on the little things that could get them the big things. The longer you wait to act on your dreams, the less likely you will act at all. Friend, today is the day you stop procrastinating. If you already know what you should be doing or would like to do, you have permission to put down, as I said, this book today and act on it right now. So the reality of it is that we must be willing to act now. The Bible says faith, now faith. So we have to be willing to act now. If we're not willing to act now, we're not going to be able to really accomplish those things that are in our heart to accomplish. And what we're telling ourselves and what we're telling the world is that we really don't believe. You don't need money to act now. Can I help some people? All you need is a sheet of paper and a pencil to act now, because every vision starts with someone writing it down. All you need to act now is to make the necessary connections to say, okay, or get the necessary mentor to say, okay, this is what I want to do and I'm willing to go after it. So the sixth principle in this book and the sixth chapter is it takes less time to succeed than it does to fail. I'm going to say that again. Failure is a learned behavior that we do over years. We find ourselves in thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of debt, not because we made one decision to buy a boat. Come on, somebody. We made a gazillion decisions to do different things over the years, and then we find ourselves feeling like we're failing. But the reality of it is you need to be encouraged. It takes less time to succeed than it does to fail. In his book, The Success System That Never Fails, W.C. Stone found that by doing the same thing the same way, he received the same results. When you work the right way with the proper knowledge, effective techniques, and inspiration, it causes you to create a success system. When this system is applied, most people will find out that it takes less time to succeed than it does to fail. Failure takes a lot of doubt. Listen to me. A lot of worry. Failure takes a lot of fear in order to manifest. To obtain success, all you need is a mustard seed of faith, because that mustard seed of faith will give you the actions that is necessary for you to be able to accomplish it. So one of the things that I penciled down in this book, if you haven't had this book, this is one of the most inspirational books. I listened to it. I still listen to it every now and again on audiobook. It is a very, very exciting book, and it will inspire you to go after your dreams. So the 5 secrets to planning a perfect day. So I'll list them in the book. I'm not going to go over them right now, but I'm telling you, there's some good stuff in here. And I just encourage different individuals to go through these different things in order to cease your day, in order to tackle your day with a sense of urgency so that you can win each and every day. Because the goal is for you to win each and every day that you wake up, for you to go closer and move closer and closer to your desired end until you obtain your desired end. Now, what's amazing, you guys, about going after financial freedom, about really believing God to go to the next level financially, what's amazing about it is the moment you take a step toward your goals, the moment you make it up in your mind, I'm going to do this, I'm going to pay off my debt. The moment you make up your mind, I'm going to do this, I'm going to launch out there and do those things that are in my heart. Those moments are the most exciting moments. You know, it's exciting when you obtain it, when you actually are walking in financial freedom. But man, the moments leading up to it, you need to know that financial freedom is not a race. It's not a, it's a marathon. So the moment you make up your mind, the moment you will have the opportunity to really start experiencing the joy of the Lord as you take steps to accomplish what you want to accomplish. So budget what you have and you will have more. So a lot of people, when we talk about budgets, they look at budgets. Oh my God, I don't want to be in bondage. But budgets are not bondage. Budgets are freedom. Because in your budget, you can say, I want to do X, Y, Z. I want a massage. I want to do this, that, and the other. A lot of people don't know that budgets give you the opportunity to walk in freedom, financially, as well as freedom in your life, freedom and liberty. So look at this. When was the last time you took out the time to direct your money where you wanted it to go? A budget helps you take control over your finances. Carlos Slim's father taught him at a young age the importance of managing and keeping a close eye on his finances. 60 years later, in 2013, he was named the richest person in the world. So what I encourage you to do in the seventh principle is maximize your wealth by prioritizing your day. So the budget that I love to tell people, the best budget you can ever create is called a zero-based budget. If you don't know what a zero-based budget is, you could Google it right now and it will explain to you what a zero-based budget is. And the reason why I love a zero-based budget is because it gives every one of your dollars, every one of your dimes, a location where you want to send it. There are so many people that earn or get a check on a weekly or bi-weekly basis, and they have no idea where they send their money. You have to have a location for every dollar that you earn. And the more you have that location, the more you take control over your resources and the more you're able to go where you're believing God to go. So in the book, I say, manage your dollar and you will manage a fortune. So examine your finances weekly to see where most of your excess cash is going. Besides bills, see if you can capitalize on areas where you are spending more than you should. Invest your excess cash in something that has the potential of multiplying wealth. Remember, you should already be putting away 10% of your earned income. However, through budgeting, you are going to find more money to invest. Learning to invest properly or using your excess cash to start your own business will bring you into financial freedom quickly. This is why it is so important to pay attention to your money. What you think is a little can become a lot with the right investments or businesses. There are a lot of people all over the world that started with a little. When we look at different individuals, Apple, we look at Microsoft, these individuals started with a little, but they managed what they had well, and they were able to take these companies to 500 and some 100 companies. So look, Oprah didn't become a billionaire by accident. She was so intentional about sustaining her wealth that when she realized that eating out for lunch, we're talking about the billionaire Oprah, eating out for lunch every day was breaking her budget, she decided to start bringing her own lunch to work every day. Yes, even Oprah has a budget. You should too. Don't despise small beginnings, my friend. In due season, you shall reap your desired result if you decide not to quit. So we see that even people we admire, even people that are doing great things, even people that are doing, we're just looking up to because they have all of these finances. Man, these individuals make sure that they don't go back to where they used to be. So we have to be encouraged and we have to know that if we're going to do great things financially, if we're going to walk in financial freedom, we have to be able to budget as well. So I want to cut to the chase and I want to share with you one of the most powerful investment tools, and good to see you as well, Latasha. I want to share with you one of the most powerful investment tools. And if you don't have this book, I want to encourage you to get this book. So this book is written by Burton and Charles. They spent over 70 years in the stock market, and their advice on investing is to place the majority of the money you are going to invest. Listen to this. I want you to write this down if you have never heard this before, in index funds. What I love about index funds, it's like if you've ever been to a casino, and most people that go to a casino, we know every night the house is going to win. It doesn't matter how many individuals won. Every night the house is actually going to win. And so index funds in the stock market is like betting on the market. And the reason, betting on the house. And the reason it's so amazing is because over time it have found to keep your investment and grow your investment more than any other stock, decades upon decades, ever since the stock market existed. So the name of their book is The Element of Investing. I want you to write that down. The Elements of Investing, Easy Lessons for Investors. And so look at what they stated. They said, do what the professionals investors do. Index the core of your portfolio, and then, if you must, make individual bets around the edges. So they said the core of your investing, when you're investing in the stock market for the long run, you should invest in index funds. Now, they also says, but have the major core. You can invest in different areas, but have the major core of your investment, and especially your retirement fund, in a well-diversified set of stocks and bond index fund. And the reason we're going to go through the reason why index funds is one of the best investments when you're investing in the stocks and market. So this is one way you can cause compound interest to work for you. Over a 10-year period, broad stock market index funds have regularly outperformed 2/3 or more of the actively managed mutual funds. So individuals that we are paying, and many people are paying to manage their funds, they're saying in their book, which is, I mean, you can check it out, that on a regular basis, the index fund, you just going and investing in that outperforms most of the people that people are paying thousands and millions of dollars to manage their funding. So in their experience, they found, now this is over 70 years of experience, they found 4 advantages to the index funds. Number 1, they simplify investing. Number 2, they save time and they save money. Number 3, they are cost efficient and tax efficient. Number 4, they are predictable. So that's very powerful. So throughout their book, they really explain the reason why it is important to invest a core of our resources into index fund if we're going to invest in the stock market, because over time they win out over managers and win out over people to say, I got the best stock this year, X, Y, and Z. So, friend, I want to encourage you to make sure you read that book on investing to gain a better understanding of investing, the power of compound interest, and the advantages of index funds. So this book will take you less than a day to finish, and you can go to your local library, which I did at first to actually borrow it, and then I ended up buying my own copy. So that's one of the biggest things that you need to understand is that, okay, once I start budgeting and managing my money, where do I put it? Now, if you have a business idea, if you have a desire to invest in real estate, and then that's a whole nother thing, but you still want to make sure you're taking advantage of the stock market for your savings, which will multiply your money. So the last and final thing that I want to share with you before we close this book is about the percentage indicator. Now, this is very important because a lot of people, when we talk about finances, they get discouraged. A lot of people say, well, I hear what you're saying, but I can't even, I don't have a savings. I don't have enough money for this. And that's why it's so important to look beyond what you have and to think outside of the box. Because, I mean, it's easy to be discouraged. I remember, when I first started, pursuing, God and asking him, okay, Lord, to prosper me, etc. And I would be discouraged when I see bills, and I would be discouraged when this would happen or people would talk about money, because I recognized where I was. And then God started dealing with me and saying, you got to look beyond where you are in order to really see what I have. So I had to start where I was. And I want to encourage you, you might 80% of your resources might be going towards bill right now, but there's a way that you can use what you have in order to get to what we're asking you to do in order to walk in financial freedom. So, friend, the objective, we call it in the book the percentage indicator. So the objective for the percentage indicator is not to end where you start. If you start at 2%, move up to 8%. So basically, the percentage indicator says if you can't save 10% right now, save 2%. If you can't save 2%, save 1%, save something. It's all about the disciplines at first. You have to understand when your mind starts saying, okay, I'm going to put this to the side. I'm going to put that to the side. Or like I love to, when I'm coaching people and when I'm advising people financially, I say, okay, first goal. Set a goal to hit $1,000 before the month is out or before a couple months and go after it. I remember coaching not that long ago. And these are the type of things that happen. I was dealing with Justine and Joanne, a couple of our younger couple that just got married. And I was encouraging them. I said, as I was coaching them, because finances is big in marriage. People don't know most marriages end in divorce, not just because they stop loving each other, but because the money done ran out for some kind of a way, or somebody's not good with money, or somebody's not coming in. So that's a big problem. So I began to coach them. I said, listen, next month, I want y'all to set a goal to save $1,000. And at first they were like, oh my God, we don't see how we're going to make it. They were discouraged. Lo and behold, I kid you not, next month, something happened where with one of their financial aid where they paid for something and the money just came back. By next month, they had more than $1,000 in their saving, and they were able to do what they needed to do and put up that $1,000 in savings like I encouraged them. What am I telling you? When you make up your mind to do something, supernatural things begin to happen, but if we don't make up our mind to do stuff, then those things are not going to be able to happen. So we got to take a step. So I'm encouraging you today, start saving more, start thinking of different ways to invest, and make sure, if you haven't, to look up index funds, because if you invest in that, it will really bless your life. So let's go over the 8 principles behind the 6 key. Number 1, take advantage of every second you have. That's the first key I want to give you. Number 2, number your days. We only have today. Stop looking at tomorrow, the next week. No, number your days. We have today to make great decisions. So make great decisions today. Number 3, don't live your life on autopilot. Live intentionally. Live deliberately. Number 4, use the debt snowball to become debt free. God began to deal with me this year, and I've been talking, to some of our covenant partners at Greater Works about finding, debt freedom, man. And he told me, I would just go tell you to believe him for something supernatural above and beyond. So, I started calculating my debt, you know what I'm saying, with, my student loans and everything. And, you looking at them numbers, you're like, oh, okay, Lord, this is going to be supernatural if we can get this done this year. So I just put it out there and start believing him and believing God. And I want you to do the same. There's nothing too hard for our Father. Number 5, plan your day, and your day soon will pay for your future. That's powerful. Number 6, it takes less time to succeed than fail. Number 7, maximize your wealth by prioritizing your day. Number 8, index funds are one of the best ways to make compound interest work for you. I want to thank you all for taking out the time to join us today. I'm telling you, if you start applying these principles, some of you are already doing a great job financially, and that's why you're tuned in, because you're trying to go to the next level. But if you start applying these principles, managing your money, budgeting your money, I'm telling you, by this time next year, you're going to be in a place financially that you never dreamed. So continue to pursue what God has put in your heart to pursue, and continue to do what God has called you to do. And I'm telling you, you're going to go and do great things in Jesus' name. Love you all. Always remember, you can walk in financial freedom in Jesus' name. Y'all be blessed. Oh.